Hey YouTubers, it's DasGregor. Got a question for y'all. Why is it we don't think about our fears of something until it becomes more real to us? For instance, I live out in the desert. In the desert, we've got black widows, rattlesnakes, Gila monsters, scorpions of all sorts, and bigger spiders than that. But I've never once been worried about anything in the house other than crickets and silverfish. They're pretty harmless, just really annoying. A nuisance. However, the other day, in fact it was my birthday on Monday, I happened to walk into our pantry and glanced down. I was putting away some party hats that my wife had got for us, and just put them away for the next time. And I glanced down in a small bucket that was sitting there on the ground, and there lying in this bucket was a scorpion. It wasn't a big scorpion, say 2.5 inches maybe tall, maybe 3 inches. He was laid out, his tail wasn't up. It's actually the first time I'd seen a scorpion that wasn't dead or in a cage of some sort. He was trapped. He couldn't have gotten out. He'd try to crawl up the sidewall and he'd just fall backwards on his belly, work his way back up, and crawl around inside that bucket again. But it makes you really wonder about things. I'd never thought of scorpions in the house before. I sprayed it with some bug and spider killer, and of course it took a couple hours for it to die. Those things are kind of hard to kill. I'm not sure I was about to step on them, that's for sure. Ever since then, I've been shaking out my shoes, shaking out my clothes, scared to death every time I'm walking around that there might be something crawling, something other than a cricket or silverfish or something, some other nuisance. But my question to you is, why do we wait until something happens to us to get serious about it? There's always been the threat of scorpions in the house, yet I never thought of it, never bothered with it until we've actually found one. I've lived here for nearly 2 years. The first one I've seen. Alive, anyway. But now I'm scared to death for my little daughter. She's only about 17 months old. She runs around barefoot all the time. And I keep thinking that she could easily get into something, especially the way she gets into everything, really. There's no way to stop her. You can try to get her to not do something until you're blue in the face. It's just not going to happen most of the time. You turn her back on you, she's always picking something off the floor, always getting into some cabinet. You just got to watch her constantly. Supervision all the time. There's no way of telling whether she's going to listen to you one day and not listen the next. So it kind of scares me that the possibility of having something as dangerous as a black widow or scorpion is walking around in the home somewhere. But never been scared about this before until we actually saw one. So why is that so? Why do we wait till it becomes personal? On another note, why do we not get involved with things until it happens to us? And most people, if you ask them, why are you involved with this particular function, this particular, I don't know what I'm trying to say really. I want to say something like an organization such as MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, we'll put it that way. Or someone with Lung Cancer Association or Cancer Association, something like that. You ask them, why are you involved? And I'll bet you 99.9% of them will say because they neither know someone, are related to someone, or are someone that is involved or have been involved, either with a disease, with a cancer, with a drunk driver, with something. And that's why they're now involved. Why do we wait, though, till it's personal? Why do we wait till this is the issue? before we get involved with this. I think our society has become a society of apathy because most people just don't care until it does become personal. So, what is our excuse? Why do we wait so long? I got a lot of good examples. Just why America, it's okay for us to go to war when we think it's good for us, but as soon as we start to see someone fighting back, then we got to get out of it. We're hurting too many people. We got to stand up for what's right. We got to stand up for what we believe in. I've not used this forum to talk about this before. I've always tried to keep it as neutral as possible. But I'm getting angry right now the closer we get to election time here in the United States. I'm getting mad at what people think is important and what people don't think is important. How this big deal with Foley's Folly is and everything else. We got a lot of creeps out there. We got a lot of idiots out there. The difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is we get rid of the creeps. We get rid of the morons. We don't stand there and praise them for doing lewd acts in the Oval Office, impeach them, and then still they stay. Instead they got rid of Foley. They got rid of him. And now there's an independent, they're trying to get an independent group out there to get rid of the morons, these probably Democrats, who held this information for more than 2 or 3 years before deciding, okay, now that it's an election time, now that the Democratic Party is looking like crap, we're going to throw it out there. And while I'm on this subject, I might as well talk about what I saw in the Arizona Republic today. I cannot believe the morons in the Ninth Circuit Court who have decided to overturn voter ID. It is common sense that anybody should have to show some form of ID when they go to vote at the poll. I don't want someone coming in there and saying that they're Joe Smith and have someone say, "Oh, okay, Joe Smith, will you sign, just sign your John Hancock here and you can go vote." And then the real John Smith shows up and says, "Hey, I'm John Smith from such and such." "Well, I'm sorry, sir, but you've already voted." "Well, wait a minute, I have not." "Well, I'm not allowed to ask you about your ID, and I wasn't allowed to ask the previous person." You know what I think it is? I don't think these dang Democrats can win without the vote of the illegal immigrants, without the vote of these illegal aliens. What I don't understand is what people don't understand what illegal is. Illegal means that you're doing something wrong. You're not here proper. You're not here legally. I am a legal citizen. I have the rights of the Constitution to back me up. But these people from Mexico, these people who are here improperly, they have no rights. They think that because they are in our country, that gives them automatic rights. Well, guess what? Just because I lived in Germany for 10 years of my life does not give me rights at all as a German citizen. I had no rights over there. The only thing that protected me was the United States government and my SOFA agreement, the Status of Forces agreement in my passport, because I was related somehow in some form to the military because my father was an officer. But that did not entitle me to German welfare. That did not entitle me to be able to go there and take good jobs away from the German people. I had someone the other day come up to me and said, "Well, I don't know what your problem here in Arizona is about these dang fences. Over here in Texas, we let them come in, and then we have them build our roads." I normally don't like to talk politics, but you know what? I'd rather know that someone that was here legally, and that a good American or someone who needs a job here had a job building those roads, instead of some illegal person that does not belong in my country. Now, if you want to come here proper, if you want to come here, get some sort of a work visa, get some sort of a work permit, and come over here and help us out, I don't have a problem. If you want to come to my country to get a good education, because we do have good universities, they may cost $1 million, may put you in debt the rest of your life, but they're still decent universities. I don't want to talk about our education, but if you want to come over here and get an education, and then go back to your country so that you can help your country to do better, then I don't have a problem with that either. But this crap about no voter ID at the poll is just absolutely ridiculous. And and this crap that we don't want to put up a fence to block people. It's like these morons who go out in the desert and put up watering stations to help illegal people cross the border. Excuse me, but we need more patrols. We need to keep them out of this country. We need to be taking the welfare we're giving to these people and spend it on good American people who need the help. Now, I'm not some bigoted backwater American. As I've said many times, and if you look at some of my videos, I lived in Germany for a long time, and I respected them. I learned a lot of German while I was there. I learned a lot of their customs, and I did not go over there expecting them to speak English to me all the time. I did not go over there expecting them to change for me because I was a guest in their country. That is the key word. I was a guest in their country, and I respected them. I respected their country, and I respected what they were. I didn't go over there trying to change them. I didn't go over there trying to make them give me German schools with English-speaking teachers so I could learn. No. I get so sick of this. If you're going to come to my country, learn my language. Just like I went to Germany, I learned as much German as I could. What I couldn't learn in German, I had a German-English dictionary, and I kept it with me at all times. And if I couldn't figure something out, I was always asking someone, Wie sagt man diese? And I'd say the American phrase, and they'd help me by telling me what the German phrase was, and I'd work on it, I'd practice it, and then I'd go and learn it and try to use that in the future. If you want to do something proper, do it proper, but don't come over to my country and try to change what it is here. I realize that English has never been the national language here, although it ought to be, because 100% of Americans should be speaking English. Whatever happened to the immigrants who came over here through Ellis Island, who were excited, who learned English immediately, who tried to put themselves into our culture? We are a melting pot of people, and we have a great pride in the fact that we have so many people from all over the world that have come to make this a great country. But it just really burns me when people come over here to this country and try to make it into a little country of where they came from. As far as I'm concerned, I'm an American first. I'm a German American or English American or Irish American second, third, fourth. I know most of us are mutts. My grandmother is full-blood German. I've got American Indian. I've got enough to get my Indian card if I wanted to in me. A lot of my mother's side is English. We can take our family history all the way back to General Robert E. Lee. We can take our history back to Josiah Bartlett, who signed the Declaration of Independence. But you don't see me rolling around saying, well, I'm English American. I'm German American. As far as I'm concerned, I'm American. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make America the best place there is. And I don't believe that means forcing my values on other people either. Don't get me wrong there. I just believe that this country started out a couple hundred years ago to be a safe haven for those people who were getting persecution where they were. But they came here and they became one nation. They didn't come here to become many nations with the benefits that come with that, but being separate. And I've rambled way too long, so I'll shut up. So until then, hopefully I won't get too slammed with this one, but I actually already apologized to Burn Victim 77. I'm sure that he's going to disagree with a lot of what I have to say, but you know what? I don't always agree with everything he has to say, but I respect his opinion, and I hope that those of you who are watching me respect my opinion as well. And I hope that if you have criticism, that it's constructive at least. But for what it's worth, those are my 2 cents on immigration, voter ID registration, and why do we wait so long to get involved until it becomes personal. So until then, and until next time, have a good day, good evening, good night, whatever you're having. Have it, enjoy it, and remember, we're in a land where we can be free. We're in a land where we can speak our mind without fear of persecution. We're somewhere where we've fought for that right. And that's what it takes to keep that right sometimes. Until next time, bye.